There's most of the robots are going to be gatherers, collectors, like Graham was saying, so that we'd have 2/3 of each team would be involved in gathering the balls and getting them to the shooter, who would be positioned in front of the goal, or at least in that third section, ready to grab a ball and somehow get into the goal, which may not be the worst task in the world, considering it just has to hurt it along a little space, as opposed to the other two robots, which may have to deal with the bumps and competition from other robots. Down, because what I want to do is I want to get a list of what's going on, what's going to go on, how we're going to accomplish these goals, you know, the goals and the ways. So let's start writing everything down, and then when we start to get a little more specific, we start to cross out the things that make sense and start to highlight the things.
The usefulness of a grappling mechanism, our righting mechanism, assuming we have the possibility of tipping, our height, weight, width, because depending on if we want to be a more maneuverable robot,
right,
we're going to be probably smaller. But if we want to play like center control in the middle third, if we play center control, we're going to want to be a bigger, more torquey. We don't necessarily need the speed there. We need the power to push people out of the area we want to take control of.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So that would have to be a larger base.
Okay, so
we need to pick a strategy of what we think would be effective.
Exactly. What we're going to do is we're going to digress, because we need to start at the beginning, which is where we began.
Alliance member, if we can be one of the main structural ones that are hanging up top, because when you hang up top, you get 2 points.
Right.
If another robot hangs out on top of you, you get 2 points for the hanging robot below you, and 3 points for hanging up another robot. So that's 5 points for the one that's hanging below you, and 2 points for the one that you're hanging on.
With the accordion idea, if you extend yourself and you're in front of the goal,
they can't get in.
One, the cameras can't see the target, so they can't shoot to begin with.
What is an accordion?
Like imagine you have the base and then just like that.
At this point, if we're back here, we'd be playing defense against their goals.
And
Getting them over.
Right.
If we take control of the center, that would mean we'd be able to push them over, and we also have the balls coming in right down, dropping in the center.
Right.
So what I'm saying is if we focus on center control, they cannot get the balls over to score. If we take control of here, they cannot score any more than the balls that they start with.
Well, they can. We're not going to be the only ones in the center.
That's what I'm saying, a strong, sturdy...
There's going to be some robot here that's going to kick it over here. What I think we ought to do now, since we're all sort of like starting to scatter around, our brains getting kind of fried, is to stop, go home, relax, and then think. Now, you all have some great ideas, and what I want you to do is commit those ideas to paper, either drawings or an essay or some sort of paragraph explaining what you're trying to say, and hopefully some sort of a diagram to address what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. The hanging thing is something we're going to attempt no matter what. We need to come up with ideas for that. If you're if you're creative and you think you got something that might work, jot it down, bring it back in, and we'll see if it's feasible, if it's possible. One thing we're going to do on Monday is we're going to build that ramp to see what kind of a push we need on the ball to get over it, whether a simple tap with a rod or some sort of a bling thing would work, or if it needs a real full-out kick. That would determine what kind of a kicker we're going to use. We have a couple ideas that seem to make sense if they work. If they don't work, we're going to have to go back to the drawing board. So, you know, I hope you all had a great time today. What I'm going to do now is we're going to leave. But I do want you all to go home and draw what you think is a good idea. Nothing here.
Okay, thanks.
Anything here.
So what did you think about
Hi. I didn't see you there. So yeah, we just finished the first day back from Kickoff. We discussed some really good ideas, a kicking mechanism and other robotic functions. We decided that we should be using some sort of movement mechanism so that the robot can move and has moving parts. We decided to use some sort of metal device to react with the subject of the matter.